Okay, finding the Sidewinder Canyon turnoff. This is Badwater Road. We're about 15 miles below Badwater, or south of Badwater, I should say. Seems like south is going downhill. Anyway, yeah, a little turnoff here. And the sign, Sidewinder. And then the canyon, the parking area is just up a ways there. Probably, I don't know, a couple hundred yards at the most. Maybe 100 yards. Yeah, that's more like it. So there you have it. Sidewinder Canyon approach. And the road's pretty decent. It does have some washboard action going on there, but nothing that the beast could not handle with flying colors. We're in Death Valley, and we're just above Badwater Road. Elevation is around 300 feet, maybe 200, we don't know. But we're guessing based on my inaccurate altimeter watch. And looking west over to Telescope Peak. Today we are going to tackle Sidewinder Canyon, which is an amazing little canyon. It is, let's see, it's right up in this area. You see the ridge there, the low ridge above a wash. You go to the end of that ridge and then you take a sharp left and you end up in Sidewinder Canyon. Now, the cool thing about Sidewinder Canyon, and by the way, we are about 15 miles south of Badwater. And let's see how else to describe this. It's a little past the mile 30 point. You'll see a turnoff to the left, and that'll take you about, I'd say a quarter mile from Badwater Road on a little washboard road. It's not too bad. And it'll take you to this parking area, which is the parking area for both Sidewinder Canyon and Willow Canyons up in that area. So you basically take a left before the mountain that you see, and you're going up Willow Canyon. But today our experience is going to be Sidewinder Canyon, and a little rock art here on this little hill. Anyway, east side of Death Valley, about 15 miles below Badwater. And there is actually a sign on at the entrance of the road, the turnoff from Badwater Road. There's a little sign that says Sidewinder, but you actually have to turn off and start on the little unpaved road here to see that sign that says Sidewinder. Anyway, I hope with this information that it's going to help you to locate the turnoff and parking area for Sidewinder Canyon. And you see right below me, see this little trail? This is the trail you take. That's going to take you up this hill, along that ridge, and then you take the sharp left at the end of the ridge and you're heading into Sidewinder Canyon. Now, a great thing about Sidewinder Canyon is that the reason they call it Sidewinder is that there are the main event in this canyon is 3 to 4 split offs mainly to the right in the canyon, and you go up these side canyons, and they're pretty cool. There's some that are you're actually going through a tunnel, through overhangs, And it's just a great little experience. There are some, you experience some slot canyon areas up here. So it's a variety of canyon experiences all wrapped into this Sidewinder Canyon. And I think in total, we're going to be looking at around 4 to 5 miles. So it's not a huge investment in distance. And you get a whole lot of bang for your buck in this canyon. So let's head on up. Okay, here we are heading up the little Sidewinder Trail. Get a 360. And you see we haven't gone very far because the parking lot's right down in that area. Trailhead parking. But we're heading up this hill and going to parallel that ridge there and then take a sharp left at the end of it. And there's the ridge. And at the end, we take the sharp left into Sidewinder Canyon. So here we go. Well, this little trail's pretty clear. You can see the footprints all the way, so it's not too hard getting to the mouth of Sidewinder Canyon and knowing exactly which canyon to get into. And yeah, here's that ridge, or the edge of the wash that we were looking at from below. There are the mountains above, Black Mountains. And there's looking down at the parking area. As you can see, we haven't gone very far. And then looking up in this direction, you're looking up toward Dante's View. I think Dante's View is over those mountains there. And then here we're looking north up Death Valley. And then panning around to the Panamint Range. And to the northwest, more to the west now. And Telescope Peak and Wild Rose Peak up in that area. Hanapah Canyon below Wild Rose Peak, which is to the right of the highest peak, which is Telescope Peak. There are pages for those on LasVegasAreaTrails.com. Okay, and you can see we're in a huge wash that is narrowing as we approach Sidewinder Canyon. Shot at the mouth of Sidewinder Canyon, and with the sun behind us, this is a great view of Death Valley looking north. And there you see the Panamint Range to your left and the Black Mountains to your right and Death Valley right in between. Let's do a quick 360 so you can see the canyon we're in. Notice how the walls around us have gotten a lot higher. Now we're looking into the sun directly east, and there's the right up here. You can see the canyon starting to narrow. And then here you see the high walls on the south side, I mean the north side of the canyon. Gotta get my directions straight here. It's not too hard to get the directions straight because, yeah, you know you're looking north up Death Valley, west toward the Panamint Range, east toward the Black Mountains. There you have it. Okay, already, here is a split off to the right. I don't think this is the official first canyon, but let's go up anyway and just take a look inside this. And you can see how, wow, you can see how it narrows so quickly. And you find yourself in a little slot canyon. A lot of rocks to navigate. But let's just go up here and take a look. This may be like just a little dead end. We don't know if this is anything official, but hey, let's go up here. And then looking around, there's the main canyon below us. So who knows? Either this is actually a little split off canyon and the first split, or it's something before the first split. But it looks like people have taken this route before. So yeah, let's continue up. We just don't want to miss anything today. And you can see the area at the base here. It looks like I'm not the first person to walk up here. So here we go. I see where there are a number of splits here. Here's another way somebody could go and travel up this little side canyon. So yeah, just a maze of slot canyon areas. The definition of a slot canyon, by the way, is where it's higher than it is wide. And I think we can pretty safely say, yes, this canyon is higher than wide. We are looking down this little slot canyon, and I've got to say that if you just didn't want to miss the first canyon, this first split off to the right is definitely a dead end here, unless you are a glutton for punishment and want to, head up something like this, which is pretty vertical, loose rock. And all around us, yes, we're pretty safe to say that this is not the official first branch off Sidewinder Canyon. And there you can see down to the main canyon. So we're going to go back down to that canyon and continue up a little further and see the actual first split off. There you are looking up at the Black Mountains. And we are definitely in a mini slot canyon. Oops, just about lost my footing there. But not one of the official cool deviations off of Sidewinder Canyon. Okay, we're back in the main canyon, looking for the next split, which is probably going to be the first official sidewind off of Sidewinder Canyon. Yes, and there are any number of little split-offs along this canyon. So there are 3 to 4 important splits, and we'll be looking for those. Okay, looking down into Death Valley. And then, yeah, high walls all around us. Looking for that first official split off of Sidewinder Canyon. It would be on the right. All of them, all the meaningful ones are to the right. Cool little opening to the left. But we're going to continue up for now. Another little opening to the right. This looks like it could be something. Let's just go up here for a little bit. Well, this narrows pretty quickly. You see it winding around. Let's just see how far it winds up. And there you see up to the top. Definitely we're in another little slot canyon area. Yeah, this one is going a little further in. We don't know if this is one of the official ones or if we're in another little pre-slot canyon, but let's just continue here. You see evidence people have been climbing around here. Yeah, whether this is that first official canyon off Sidewinder Canyon or not, it definitely is going up into the hills here and winding around. There are a few overhangs, and you can see up above us, definitely a little slot canyon. And this whole area, all of Sidewinder Canyon, is just a runoff for all the hills around here. And so you're going to definitely see a lot of slot canyons emptying out into the main Sidewinder Canyon. Just a maze of canyons here. Let's just see how far we get. And yeah, I don't think this is the official #1 slot canyon, but we don't know. We'll just continue on up here. Regardless of whether this is anything official or not, as far as what you see on the internet, it definitely is an interesting little slot canyon. Wow. Look, you got a couple choices here. You see an overhang. We'll go into that little niche on the right. Then we'll head up here to the left. And then just look around where we are. There's the area that we just came through. Yeah, it continues on up and around on the right. But I'm thinking if there's a main show here, it would be to the left. But look at this. Wow. And of course, all this above us is pretty much loose rock. It's composite that's been washed down from the canyons above and then hardened over, I don't know, millions of years. And then again washed down. So let's go up here a little further. Yes, this may be the video where we explore every potential sidewind on Sidewinder Canyon. And I don't think I'm in any of the ones that you see on the internet right now. But hey, this is going up there. So look at this around us. Wow. A little bit we'll descend again to that other split off that was a little more to the left and see where that leads. But hey, this is, regardless of whether it's anything official, it's definitely an interesting little sidewind. We may end up in a dead end, but and I'm not the first person to take this. I can see evidence of people passing through here before. Wow. So this definitely goes up a ways. I don't know. Looks like we might be at a dead end in this little canyon. So, as interesting as it is, we can officially say this is not one of the official 4 sidewinders in the canyon. But wow, yeah, continues on to about here. I think we're at the end. I guess one real ambitious person could climb up all this loose rock here, and yes, you would be able to continue on above, but that's not on my list for today. That's a cool little slot canyon. We're going to retrace our way back to that other split off in this little slot and see if that leads to something interesting. Okay, here we go. I guess this is turning into the official Sidewinder "What's Up That Slot" video. Not using GPS. I'm just looking up just about every single slot I see along the way and exploring them. Okay, we're back at the entrance into the main canyon. So let's see what's up the next slot. Another view down and out the mouth of the canyon as we rise up into this canyon. Here we are continuing to ascend Sidewinder Canyon in the official "What's Up That Slot" video. Okay, another slot ahead. And from the looks of the little use trails here, this looks like it's probably something a little more substantial. We shall see. Let's look in this slot. This may be the official first slot. The others were little preview slots. Yeah, look at that. That does look like a little more of a real slot. So let's go up here. And this may be the first official slot in Sidewinder Canyon. But hey, we are exploring all of them. So if you've ever been up Sidewinder Canyon and you wondered, what was up those little slots you passed? This is your video. The official "What's Up That Slot" in Sidewinder video. Okay, immediately we're confronted by a few little ledges here. And take your pick which way to go up. This looks like a nice way. Or you could just stand on these rocks down here and just make your way straight up the center. And we just finished climbing this little ledge down here. So yeah, you can see the nature of the canyon. From the previous slots, I would say it wouldn't hurt to be wearing a bicycle helmet or climbing helmet up here, because there's a lot of low overhangs that just are begging to have you bang your head on them. Okay, onward. Yep, we went straight up the center of this little vertical slot or climb, and it was fine. There were some good holds. I see some people have gone along the ledge up here, which is also another good way to go. And here we are ascending a few additional rises in the canyon, and you can see ahead what we're moving toward. Okay, emerging back into the main canyon, and as you can see, there are a lot of little choices as far as slots here. Now, what's going on over here? Yeah, there is a little cairn. So that may have been the first slot, and I just didn't persist enough when I hit that vertical rise. So let's continue on. Okay, continuing up the main canyon. Here's an interesting one. This is pretty large. In fact, this is by far the largest split in the canyon so far. If this isn't slot number one, it should be. Okay, let's go up this canyon, see what we see. By the way, let's do a quick 360. Again, on the right side of the canyon. Looking up Sidewinder Canyon and around. Down Sidewinder Canyon, and here are a few people heading up, totally passing those first slots that I took, and there's someone heading down this slot. So yeah, it's looking a lot more potentially like an official slot. Okay, we're in that canyon, and wow, there's a couple ways to go to the right or the left. I'm going to go a little ways to the left because it looks like it's going to end a lot sooner and I'll be able to see what's up here. Yeah, even though the right side was the wide path, I'm going up the left of that split, which is much more narrow, just to see what's up here. Looks like we're reaching a point where we're going to have to do a little crawling if we would continue. Whoa, look at this. Yeah, definitely narrowing. Yes, that was quite the squeeze. Had to take my backpack off, but it opens up on the other side. So here we go. Shot of the squeeze. And then here we are as the canyon opens up in front of us. Yeah, and I do believe this is the official first slot. Looking back through the little squeeze that I just came through with my backpack off, yes, that was tight. And then you've got a potential slot up here, but I'm going to continue on this larger slot that goes up this way. Here we go. Wow, look at this. This is just full of different slots. Everywhere you look, there's another slot. The water just comes down through these hills, the path of least resistance. And as you can see, there are many. Wow, look at that up there. A choke stone right in the center. But we're going to continue up this way. That's probably why they call it Sidewinder Canyon. Definitely winding around a lot. Whoa. Now we're entering into the twilight zone here. Wow. Okay, continuing on. Wow. Look at how this rock is lodged there. Boy. It just makes you really want it to not fall. Okay, continuing on. Now I understand that there is a really dark hole up here. Here's another choke stone. A lot of these rocks have just fallen from all over the place here. Okay, entering a darker area. I happen to have a nuclear headlamp, so if you've ever been in here before and haven't been able to see the full experience of this spot, let's see where my on switch is. Whoa, there you go. Now you're going to see this area like maybe you've never seen it before. A little bit of a squeeze here. Yeah, it gets pretty dark in here. Whoa, look at this. We're still winding around. Whoa, look in here. Yeah, not much light coming in from above. So let's continue on. Okay. This, I think, is where we are going to call it. Let me turn that light off. I would say this might be a little too bright. Nope, it wasn't too bright. Okay. Wow. I love what the natural light does. Look way up there. There's the one light source, natural light source. Yes, one could go up there. Some real climber, not this trail runner. What's over here? Well, another little height, and maybe that would be a little easier. We don't know. It's not looking too great, although maybe it goes around the corner up there. So, yeah, there you have it. Possibilities, but I'm turning around here. And retracing our way. Imagine if I went down a wrong corner here. This is a real maze. Okay, time to put the camera down. Back into the light. Definitely narrow enough here. Okay, as long as this is the official Sidewinder What's Up That Slot video, this is the slot we just went up that is the well-advertised slot. This is a larger canyon area that we're told is not the slot, but let's just imagine if we went up this way. What would we find? We'll probably find out why it's not the slot. But definitely a lot of people have come up this way. You can see by the path that we're going up. Continuing on up, definitely the wider way. And this is what you see if you go up the slot that is not suggested. Oh wow. Unless this turns up ahead, it looks like there is quite an incline, more like a slide. Yes, we have reached the dead end unless you are a fly on the wall. Because boy, this is one smooth slide. Look at that. Now, I'm not saying that would be impossible, but yeah, it would be a really interesting ascent to say the least. Look at that. And the video doesn't do it justice. It is really steep. I'd say it's probably, 60 degrees at least, maybe a little more. No, about 60. Wow, what a slide. And then looking around, wow, look at this. Looking down this canyon and then on up to the mountains. That's a pretty amazing view. So yeah, this is what we'll refer to as first slot wrong canyon. But yeah, one could actually work one's way up. There are a few different options here. It's just that, yeah, it looks easy enough from where I'm standing, but when I'm halfway up there and I'm on slippery, slidey, loose rock, it might look a little different looking down to the bottom here. And boy, if one lost one's hold, believe me, this would make a cheese grater jealous. Because this is all loose rock sticking out of the loose rock base. Okay. And as you can see, there's an example of the kinds of things you would go down in this case. But yeah, here we are, looking down first slot wrong canyon. Yes, that was the official first slot. And now we are back in Sidewinder's main canyon, looking for slot number 2. So here we go. Onward and upward. Get a quick 360. Wow, look at those walls. Definitely vertical. And then here's looking over in this direction. You can see the tip of Telescope Peak on the left across Death Valley to the west. And then the Panamint Range stretching north to the right from Telescope Peak. Now this looks like we're approaching another opening, if there ever was one. There's a little cairn on that rock in the opening, seeming to indicate, yes, this is something. And let's look around. Yeah, last Sunday in January. And boy, it's about as hot as I want it to be during this exertion. Okay, let's head up this canyon and see what we can find. Okay, continuing on past the cairn. And yeah, this does look like something. This may very well be the second official Sidewinder slot canyon. Yeah, all those mines that I didn't go in, we're making it up right now. Wow. Wow. You see it winding around. Look at that. Pretty amazing. Definitely not as dark as Canyon number 1 so far. Whoa, that's a tight turn. I guess somebody left their hiking poles here. Okay, phone goes down. Got a little barrier here. Wow, look at that. Okay, continuing around corners here. Nice surface. And some decent lighting from above. Very windy. And you can see that little bend of light mirroring what the surface down here looks like as we wind along. There's a few little vertical barriers here in the canyon. Not many, and they're not that high so far. Definitely the space in here is not super generous, but just wide enough to not be a problem. Of course, a lot of little barriers to climb up. Continuing along this generously wide pathway. Yeah, look at some of these pillar there. Wow, totally amazing. And there's so many different ways that water has found a way to get down into the lowest canyon and then continue on downward. Looks like things may be opening up a bit above here. A lot more light coming in. compared to that direction. And look back down the canyon. Wow, this is so cool. Yeah, I think we're safe to say that this is indeed the second slot off of Sidewinder Canyon. And I understand that there are 3 main slots, and then there's potentially a 4th. Somebody seemed to be really excited about that 4th one, thinking that was the very best one. So, yeah, we'll see. Wow, look at those. Very cool. Yeah, if you're up here, take time to look up, because that's where some of the main show is. Okay, opening up into a lighter area here. Okay, starting to narrow again. You can tell because there's no glare. Okay, here's a little barrier. Looks like somebody's piled some rocks down here to help one ascend. And there's the ascent. Doesn't look too horrible. We're going to go up there and then continue. Well, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, it looks pretty steep if you look over the edge here, but this little bypass did the trick. And then continuing to look up and around. Wow. Natural pillars there on the side, on the left. Little alcove right here. You can see how the water has molded this area. And then the route continuing upward. I think we'll have a few more little vertical sections to get over before we're done here. We're still continuing up the second slot. And yeah, expect a number of barriers like this. There are handholds and footholds, but I do have to remove my backpack on those because my backpack has a whole lot of water in it. It's just too heavy. Wow, look at this. There's quite the overhang, but I think there's a way around this side. bet every design you could imagine is in this canyon. In every different shade of light. Okay, this may be my turnaround point here. It looks definitely doable. As you can see, there are handholds and footholds, the rocks on this wall. You can also see we're looking at about an 8-foot ascent. And this continues up, and eventually it will open up into, above the canyon here, be able to see Death Valley. But I think I'm going to turn around here and look for the third canyon. Yeah, there are a number of other ledges like the one up here that we're going to encounter below us. So we're not done with ledges yet. Okay, anyway, this is a good taste of that second canyon. Let's head on over to the third. Heading down canyon number 2, note to self. Take a much lighter backpack next time, because your water demand is not going to be so horribly great. Not in all this shade, at least not in January. And so you don't need to carry so much. I'd say 1 liter of water might do it in January. Of course, if you try this in the summer, all bets are off, or even later in the spring. Cool little curves here. Love how this winds around. Another note to self, don't do this with cracked ribs, which I got in Titus Canyon 2 weeks ago when I went over the handlebars of my bike. Lowering myself down these is really special. Well, that was the second slot. And yes, it goes way, way back there. If you love raising yourself up over and lowering yourself down vertical ledges, probably 3 to 8 feet with decent holds, actually, you'll love this canyon. And like I mentioned, it goes all the way back up to the top of the mountains up here, or at least a place where you can get out of the canyon and get a larger view. So that is the second canyon in Sidewinder Canyon, second slot. And here's the main canyon, and we're going to continue on up Sidewinder Canyon. Let's look for that third slot. Well, Sidewinder's main canyon, after that second main slot, is beginning to narrow a little bit. Maybe it opens up again. Cool look here. And then, of course, you can look through back to the Panamint Range telescope peak area. I don't know if it's coming through too well because of the light, but it sure looks great without the camera. When you hit this section, the main canyon itself is pretty beautiful. As you can see, it narrows here even more. The walls rise up. We're getting close to the third slot. And then you can see ahead. You can see we're not too horribly far from the base of the Black Mountains. We've wound ourselves around all the way up this far. Continuing on up the main canyon, and not too far from that third slot. Yeah, last Sunday in January, temperature here is, the high today is supposed to be about 73. Pretty cool, or warm. Oh, here's a little niche. Wow. Imagine the water roaring down this thing during a flash flood. Hitting the bottom there. Oh, looks like there's an opening here. Wonder if this is that famous third slot, or if it's just another small opening. Let's go up here a ways, see what we can see. Well, it's definitely continuing. Winding around like slot number 2. Wow, look at this little tunnel. Looks like you could go around it, but hey, we're going to go through the tunnel. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Good we did that, because there was a sharp left, and it looks like this is the main canyon continuing. Look at this. Another arch. So this little canyon is the canyon of arches. Many more than the last one. Very beautiful. Wow, do not touch that rock. That's just hanging out over the canyon here. Well, so far this is a lot friendlier than slot number 2. I haven't had to cross or raise myself up over any ledges yet. Of course, I probably just jinxed it. And I'll begin to hit ledges up ahead, but it's all right. It's a lot of fun. Okay, tight squeeze ahead. And yeah, we had to ascend some of this. And as you can see, it's quite an ascent, but the difference about it is that the rocks are all covered with a thin layer of dust. So that makes ascent a little bit special. So let's continue on through this opening and upward. I'm going to nickname this Dusty Slot. The rocks are not as firm because they're covered with this slippery dust, but not really difficult. Nothing to worry about yet. Wow, look at this. So this huge piece fell from above. Wow. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine being there when this thing slid off the wall above? And looking around, yeah, very beautiful. Yeah, there's a little opening here to squeeze through underneath this huge piece of chunk of cliff wall that we're just going to trust is going to stay there and not move. Now let's just dive through this little opening. Yeah, I looked at this. I thought, oh no, that's the end. But we take a turn. Look at the light cast different colors on the wall. Looks like there's light ahead. All right. too low overhangs or ledges to navigate here. Nothing really bad. And we continue on up. I'm going to need both hands for this. And it continues on up above. Note to self, my signature non-collapsible trekking poles, which are great for vaulting over single stones, small boulders, are not helpful in conditions like this. Because it automatically means that every ledge I climb over, I'm doing it with one hand while I'm holding the poles in the other. Well, this little slot is opening up at this point. That's a little bit unexpected. Okay, we're narrowing again. Back to the slot. Just gotta love these slot canyons. Yeah, here's another barrier, but it looks like there's some good holds. So let me see what I can do here. Well, that wasn't too bad. But I tell you, this rough wall really wanted to catch my backpack. And there we are, looking down the slot canyon and then looking up the canyon over the last barrier. Continuing on up and through. Now I can see where Sidewinder Canyon got its name. A lot of weaving around. I don't know if you've noticed, but every time I'm faced with a ledge, mysteriously the video stops for a while and then you see the ledge from the top. Don't know why that is. Definitely a wild slot canyon, but some plants growing in here, which means that it gets a good amount of light, at least enough for, I think this is a desert holly. Okay, the video is going to stop again. It's pretty amazing. Just looking at the rugged walls of this canyon. And you see the blue sky above. And then it all turns dark. A lot of changes in the lighting make it truly beautiful. Yeah, this canyon is pretty tame compared to canyon number 2, which was the canyon of ledges. Of course, you know what happens as soon as I say something like that. I jinx it, and then we hit ledges. But so far, so good. Oops. Okay, yeah, you can get up this way. What did I say about jinxing the canyon? As soon as I said there's no ledges. Look at this. More ledges. Still not horrible. But, yeah, not going to be holding my hiking poles in one hand and camera in the other and going up without any hand holds. Okay, continuing on up, and a little side canyon here, another slot. It looks like it ends in a pretty steep, high, vertical area. Okay, this rock ahead gets the award for hanging in the most precarious position. It looks like there's definitely more rock sticking out than there is inside the wall here. Wow. Continuing around, weaving through this canyon. Wow. Turn around often because it's like it's a whole different canyon with different views in the other direction. Of course, we'll see all that on the way back. Yeah, I give this more of an award for being the most tame canyon with a minimal squeezes and minimal ledge hops. And those arches are pretty beautiful. Okay, we are pretty much at the base of the Black Mountains here. Another note to self is Sidewinder Canyon is worthy of more than one trip. because I can see, I've passed a couple openings that I didn't go up, and I could have gone up the canyon further, but I'm at a turnaround point for the day, and so I just need to retrace my way back down this slot number 3 and back home for the day. So there are additional slots. Look at that. Look at that rock. Oh my gosh. What a pillar. Yeah, there are additional slots that I could have done. And I didn't even get all the way up Sidewinder Canyon to the base of the mountains. So who knows how many slots are ahead. I know I passed one on the left on the way up, which is probably the only slot that I actually passed. I hit all the ones on the right. But as you can see, yes, it continues on up here. And it's so beautiful in the sunset. Wow. So, yeah, Sidewinder Canyon is truly an amazing canyon. And deserves more time to play around than just this one trip. But this one trip is a good introduction. We hit 3 of the main slot canyons, and I believe there's more on up the main Sidewinder Canyon. So we hit 3 of the main ones and a number of other slot canyons that we went up, and some of them were very interesting. They weren't the main slot canyons, but they were still really interesting. So, yeah, definitely worth a trip coming up Sidewinder Canyon. Okay, beeline back to the beast, my car, and then back to Las Vegas. Here we go. Okay, here's a video of the entrance to this 3rd slot canyon. And I don't think I got the entrance before because I wasn't sure this was actually the entrance. But yes, it is. And then this is looking up the main Sidewinder Canyon. There's more to come, but that'll be another trip. And then looking down Sidewinder Canyon and ready to make a beeline for the trailhead and then Las Vegas. Here we go. Okay, heading out Sidewinder Canyon. The lighting is much better than it was this morning. So, much better view of the overall Death Valley all the way up north. Almost ready to head out the mouth of the canyon. Pretty cool. The lighting is just incredible. And you would think with the sun setting more in the west, which is directly ahead of me, that lighting wouldn't be so well. But actually this lighting, it must just be the angle. This lighting is much better than it was this morning. And you see up Death Valley in the north direction. Here we are back at the beast. And yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking I was going to do Sidewinder and Willow Canyon today, but nope, not going to happen. Now Willow Canyon's the next one over. So we'll return here and take in Willow Canyon. that's pretty much it for the day.